KB37. And I've set this up like I said I would as an analog synth. So all the modules tonight, I think, are analog. Maybe this nostalgia, possibly that's a digital delay. I would need clarification about that. But I mean, it's certainly a grungy, sounds like an analog delay. I think I might use a digital chip. Could be wrong about that. I often am. Right. So let's just check. We are rocking and a rolling and the stream is working. Yep. I just want to make sure it's all good and we've got an audience and all of that kind of thing. And then we will get stuck in. Yeah. I love this Eurorack adventure. It's so rewarding. And it's made even more rewarding with my lovely chat room and people who join me on this little journey. Now, let's just finish patching this in now. Signal output. Okay, oops. Let's just get this plugged in, and then I'll talk through this, and we'll kind of patch. We'll patch along as we go. Right then, let's see. Have I got any of these? I forgot to set these up. Just have a little look at my... Yeah, I think that one might do. Joystick gone. Well, I got the joystick. I decided not to put it in for this particular arrangement. I'll go through the modules, actually, and I'll go through them one by one, and we'll have a look at what's happening here. Let's just adjust this a little bit. Okay. So, at the front of the chain, we've got the Schlappy Engineering Angle Grinder, which can be used as a filter, but in this case, I'm using it as an oscillator. Then we've got DPW 4-band distortion, which is actually being fed by what's next door to it, which is the Hysteria from Dreadbox, which is a performance VCO. That's our oscillator. Then in between that, very small, is a 2HP 2VCA that is indeed from the company 2HP. Something really annoying though. I don't know why it is, but some modules don't really fit next to each other. It seems weird that it should all be, that sometimes they don't quite fit. And this little one, I can't screw it in. You can see it's a little bit, it's rocking around a little bit. I'm not mad keen on these 2HP modules. They feel a little, not that great build, but it's probably more the restriction of working in 2HP. It's so tiny. So yeah. Anyway, next door to that is the Ataxia, which is a dual modulator being brought in for mostly envelope duties tonight. Next door to that from DPW Designs is the AV1, which is an attenuverter. And then next to that is 3LFO from Takab, Siam Modular, all the way out in Thailand. Shout out to them, because it's great that this whole kind of modular world is taking off over there. Then next door to that is a Dope for 138S mini stereo mixer, just simply acting as, well, yeah, as a 2-channel 2-into-1 at the moment, but we might find we might use some of these other inputs as well. The output of that is being fed into the rather lovely Sea Devils filter from Suit and Tie Guy STG Sound Labs. This is the filter that's based on an EMS design. I don't think it's the one from the VCS3, but I think it's some modified version of that. I think it's a transistor filter. Again, I might be wrong. And then next door to that, oops, the microphone. Let's just move that out of the way. Nostalgia, which is from Dreadbox, and that is a delay. As I say, I think that might be a digital delay, which scuppers my analog only Well, slightly. It slightly scuppers my analog only mix, but and then next door to that is patch notes from VPME with a not so cryptic message for Vlad from VPME. Steve Kirby saying 2 HP, you need a toothpaste tube top with a little bit of dowel glued onto it. Makes a useful helper. I'm not fully sure I understand what you mean by that, but I appreciate your tip. Lovely to see the chat room all filling up. That's great. I'm definitely going to be needing your help. Oh, let's just get that a little bit higher. All right, there we go. That's not in shot anymore. Okay, now, I think what I might do here, because it gets complex very quickly, is start and create the simplest signal path and then patch in things as we go. Just so we're kind of designing the patch. Oh, shall I do it? Yes, I'm going to do it. I said I would never do this again, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to unpatch the whole shebang, and then we'll patch it from scratch. And then I think it'll just make a bit more sense, and also it's a bit easier to troubleshoot then as well. I do regret this when I've done it before, so hopefully I won't regret it this time. But there we go. I'll just yank them all out, and then we'll get cracking in a mo. Where to put them all? Just dump them on the floor for now. Okay. Right. Oh, my microphone. Just a little adjustment to that. Okay, I think it's going to probably sound a bit better too now. Right. Pull it all out. Right. Oh. So I've got a few mults here, passive mults. And one cool thing that I just realized about the Waldorf KB37 made out of steel as it is that this is actually got a magnet in it. It's not steel at the side, so I realize, but yeah, it can stick to that. Okay, there it is, empty. Vlad is there. See my message, Vlad. Right then. Okay, so I've talked before about the KB37, so I won't really go over it too much, but essentially this keyboard, all of the information that is generated by playing the keyboard gets outputted of its own little module here. So the first thing we're going to take then is pitch, and we're going to whack the pitch into VCO of the angle grinder, and then I'm going to come out of this. This is about as simple as it gets. I'm going to go into my mixer, and then from my mixer I'm going to let's just go straight out. Let's just make sure that I have sound. That's probably an easy way of doing things. And do we have sound? Faint. Let's just see why that is so faint. This needs to be, let's turn these down. Wants to be high. Barely any sound. Hang on, this is the point of troubleshooting. Let's just bypass the mixer for a moment. I'll just go into the delay for now. Whoops. Oh, let me just stop it doing that. Nada. Okay, so we'll just, let's go into the VC, let's go into the hysteria instead. Just and let's just get some basic sound on the go. I'm going to bypass everything. Well, yes, we have sound. I'm going to say that my little love affair, or my honeymoon period for the KB37 is starting to wear off a little bit, you know. Just like any old marriage, when after that lovely honeymoon period, you know, the reality of living together starts taking its toll. And the thing that I'm not so keen on of the KB37 is that all of the sockets on the board inside have not got keyed sockets for when you plug it in. So when you're having to reach in, you're having to line up the cables from the modules really carefully, and I think that's a huge design flaw of it. Actually, I really do. The rack brutes from Arturia that I use in my main rig at the other end of the studio, that has got keyed sockets, so it makes it so much easier to sort of switch modules in and out. I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. Knurleys from Bafaco, they're expensive, but my goodness, I've been swapping out modules. I put all the modules in earlier only to have put them in wrong, and I went to put the angle grinder in and I'd got it wrong by one. I'd got it wrong by 1 HP. So I had to take them all out just to shift them over by 1 HP. I was like, rawr! However, Knurleys, you know, they are amazing. They're essential, I think. Right. Okay, so I'm wondering if some of these modules aren't plugged in properly inside. So we're just going to sort of just do a few things to ascertain what is and what isn't working. I think that's probably my my first task. A little confession, I did just put this together prior to kind of going on starting filming. So yeah, this is the kind of just getting stuff ready, really, just kind of getting going. Do we need let me have a look at my views. I'm just looking at, I didn't really configure this very well, did I? I think I'll just stick on this view for the moment. Right. So let's just see. So I've got sound, so I can ascertain. Let me just bring the volume down. I've got sound. Yep. So another thing as well. Look at this. Another thing about the KB37. Well, it might just be this one, but it's something I'm finding a bit annoying. As I increase the volume here, nothing. Left channel. I don't know if that's just a dodgy pop, but... And then you're all right. Once you're there, you're all right. But when you get below... See, one side cuts out, then something weird happens there. So I don't know what that is. If anyone knows what that is, I'd be really glad to to find out, because I don't know if it's faulty. It definitely shouldn't do that, should it? And then it gets all right. So, yeah. Okay. Someone's asking about what are the best alternatives for Knurleys. Doesn't appear to be a best alternative for Knurleys. Vlad is telling me that the pot is toast. Well, that's no good. And I bought this from Towman, so because of stinking Brexit, it means, you know, any kind of returns and stuff is a pain in the bum. Okay, so anyway, we've got sound. I'm going to use my fader on my mixer instead to bring in sound. Okay, so we'll just ascertain I've got sound. Let's just make sure everything is working. I might have to do some putting modules back in, I'm afraid. Sorry. Okay, let's just see with delay. Ah, look, you see that delay isn't working either, is it? Okay. All right, so some things haven't plugged in properly. Spoons, as we say in the business. Okay, so delay. Let's try the filter. Oh, yeah. There is another downside to the KB37, and I only learnt about this. It doesn't have a 5-volt rail. So some modules need like a 5-volt rail. You can get an adapter, and it's not very expensive. Dope for make one that you then plug into one of the sockets on the KB37 board that would then give you 5-volt outputs. Yeah. Yep, it is going to be a bit of a live rebuild, I'm afraid, but that's what we watch this show for. We're all friends here, and yeah, we get to talk about all things to do with the design and to do with the build of things. So that gives me an excuse, right? So I think I've ascertained that those modules aren't plugged in properly, and I think that's weird. I hope I haven't got a problem with this. Haven't found any problems, but maybe these 5 volts, I don't know. I don't know which modules are 5 volts only. This really shows up my lack of awareness. So I've got sound coming out of that. That's cool. Let me make sure I've got sound coming out of the angle grinder. And set to oscillator. Let's just give it some volt per octave. Okay, things are going weird to me tonight. All right, so I thought that should be generating sound. Oh, spoons. Right, let's stick with what we've got working, and then we'll take it from there. Oh, wah wah. Do you know, I was thinking, oh, shall I get it all sorted and start riffing before the show? And I thought, no, I'll keep it. I'll do it all live on the show for the first time. Just double check. I might have been a bit foolish there with the angle grinder. Bear with me, folks. I know this isn't the most thrilling. Oh yeah, no, it's fine. It is. We have tone out of the angle grinder. That's great. So, we've got 2 working, and I know that the distortion's working. So, okay, great. We've got enough modules. Will there be sound on this flight, says Vlad. Yes. Yes, there will. There will be lovely sound on this flight. So, all right. So, I'm going to use the ataxia then as an envelope. So that's going to need a gate signal from the keyboard, and that's going to go into a trigger. And the way this works is it can work in 3 ways. It can work as an ADSR, or as a rise and fall, and with a delay stage, or as an LFO. So it's a pretty well spec'd little module, that one. And with all of these Dreadbox chromatic series, they represent really good value for money. They really do. They pack plenty of creative features into. What is that? Is that 10 HP? Yeah. Right. Hey, Dan. Heimbach. Hello, everybody. There's so many cool people in the chat room. I feel so honoured for you to kind of come and watch me flail around like a kipper in a pan. Right. Okay. So very simple. Right. We got. We'll just go along. Now I know that this is working because there's lights working. So let's just get that working. Let's do this. Yeah. So angle grinder output then is going to go into the VCA, and then the VCA is going to come out, and then we'll just go straight into the output for now. And then we need to send an output from our trigger. So that's going to be getting LFOs. Oh man, do you know what? I think this thing has come apart, this 2HP thing, because it doesn't really fit in there very well. I can't see any. I don't think. Oh, this is terrible, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, I guess 2HP is just. I mean, it is the smallest a module can possibly be that can take jack inputs. I'm going to open that one first because I think... Right, let's just make sure the power down a moment. Right, we're going in because this thing has a tendency to break a little bit. And, oh yeah, look, there we go. It comes off quite easily inside. Oh, so this is the downside, I guess, not just of the KB37, but of a smaller kind of case, because you just don't get a lot of wiggle room. So just trying to get this plugged in and jostling it around a little bit has caused the board to come undone inside. Let's just have a little look. Oh, it fell off. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So, and I know this goes this way around. Have other people experienced this with 2HP mod? Is this something that happens with smaller modules, or is this indicative of the company 2HP? It's the only module I've ever had from them, so I don't know. Right. So that comes off ever so easily. So you've got to be very delicate with it. Maybe all 2HP modules need that kind of careful. But for some reason, it's just not quite sitting in the case properly. Let's screw that in again. Yeah, it don't quite line up. It's getting it now. I wonder why that is. Does anyone know? Is it that some modules are not quite to the same size? I mean, surely this is an exacting thing, the width. But I've experienced it a few times that it's theoretically got enough space, but it just, I can't get that one in very well. And it's just next to that one, which... Oh, Jono Trumpetto says, my first 2HP kick module packed up on me during my sound check for a gig. That's no good. Dan hasn't had any problems with any of his 2HP. Okay. So, yeah, okay. Mark Shern says, yeah, they're pretty easy to break. Oh, yeah. Okay. Is my case too shallow? No, but sometimes those cables, they kind of curl up, don't they? And then they kind of press against things as you, especially as more modules go in. But that's not going in very nicely. So, anyway, what I should just do though before I put it in is power up and then see if I can see some CV action going on this. So I don't know, maybe it's killed it. Oh, I've got nothing going into it yet. Right. If I just take the output of this in, it should see something. LED lights. I think it may not have, that might be dead. How stupid is it to sort of stick your fingers in when the thing is still on? Could you get a nasty shock? In the meantime, Gus Sandoval has just written a 10-minute song on his Arturia modular soft synth. Vlad is saying it's now a 2HP blank module. Yeah, thanks for that. Okay, so I'm fairly sure before, if I just gave it some signal, it sees signal and his little LED light, that's not coming on. Oh, this might be my first modular kind of casualty. I'm going to take it out and have a little look at it. So obviously 2HP, the company, are working to this idea of making, feature packed modules in the smallest possible space. Right, that's attached on there. Okay, I think, is it? That's on correctly, I think. So it should be the minus rail. Yep, red stripe it says on there, and it's red stripe. And it's going in. This is where not having keyed connectors on the inside of this is a bit of a problem. Just because you're reaching in and you have to kind of... It's hard, isn't it? You have to line it up and you have to kind of figure out a way of getting it on there. Oh, I'm assuming that getting keyed connectors... I wonder how easy it would be to modify the insides of this. Or in fact... Can you get little jumper things that you sit on there that have got a keyed connector on the other end that you plop that on and then... I want to know. Any smoke residue on the boards? No. It all looks pretty good. I'm just going to plug it, make sure it is plugged in and correctly into the KB37. Yeah. I'm a bit of a clumsy clog, you know, so I'm probably not the best person for this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get it in and line it all up. Why didn't they put keyed connectors inside it? That just seems silly and mean. Anyway, I don't want to fall out of love with this thing because I have been enjoying it immensely, so let's hope. See, that feels like it's on. The fact that you could put it on wrong. Okay, let's have a look. Steve Kirby. Yeah, Heimbach suggesting taking modules out, making a bit of space. Yep, I could do that, but I'm feeling a little bit pressured. Okay, turn it on. I think I've got a dead module. I think I can't see any. I can't see the. It's not lighting up. It should light up to show signal coming in. And no. Okay. Well, that's one dead module. Unless this needs 5 volts, do we know? Why did Waldorf leave off 5 volts? Shrouded headers. That's a nicer name than... yeah, shrouded headers. No shrouded headers for this money. A keyed bus board is about 25 quid, Mac's saying. Oh! I might be being stupid. Vlad is saying that the light is to show the presence of CV, not audio. So let's do that. Let's give it CV. And then maybe we're good. Oh, I don't like that board though, sticking out the back of this, ready to come off easily though. I guess there's not an awful lot of things that you can do when you're working in such a tiny area as the 2 HP. Okay, let's do that then. Let me give it signal from another module, and then I know. Let's turn it on. Thanks everyone for your patience. As you know, this is part of the fun of all of this. Oh, look at that. See, those knurlies are all reasonably tight, but... Okay, no, it's all right now. It's all right. Let's try it out of an LFO. Actually, what do I know? What do I know? I know that this thing is... let's take an output of this. Yeah, it's not seeing any... I'm not getting any light going on in there. Let's try that one. No. Let's try it from somewhere else. Oh, it's sad. Feel a bit sad. Feel a little sad that that module is poorly. It's not very old either, so I might have to investigate why that is. Okay. Oh well. I think the pins all looked okay on it though. Right. Okay, time to have a bit of a rethink. Oh, blimey. I've been so excited about today as well. Stinking thing. Dan is suggesting getting a fixed voltage out of the So I guess what, take a yes. Oh, this mic keeps drooping. Let's get that out of the way. Tighten this up a little bit. Sorry about this. Come on. Don't have any more gear failure today. Right. So, I guess so. I mean, this is part of it, isn't it? I mean, this is a big part of this whole kind of Eurorack kind of adventure, if you want to call it that, or sometimes frustration or whatever. I mean, you know, you are in the deep end with modular. You do have to, you know, make sure that all the connections and everything is good. Okay, thank you, Richard Crowder. He's saying the 2 HP only needs plus minus 12 volts, doesn't need 5 volts. So, yeah. I mean, okay. So, looks like it looks like the module is poorly. Do the ribbon cables ever go faulty? Is that something? I mean, I would be surprised, but I'm just going to make sure it's gonna. Well, I might have to go and grab another module to act as a VCA now. I bought this module under duress, really, thinking I don't need VCAs, and you do. Oh man, that felt like it had come up a little bit. Super glue, I think, was mentioned about gluing that in with super glue. Let's get that up. I don't know. Is that something we'd recommend? All the connections feel good on there. Oh no, it does. Oh, it does lift out. It does lift a bit. Feels a bit loose at the top. Right, I think I'll be safe if I hold it like that. Flick it back on. I just wondered, right, if I got something. Dan Welbeck, which output should I take then for the fixed output? Did you mention? Let's have a look. I mean, there's some real royalty in the chat room tonight watching this. Some fantastic people from the business. You know. Right. Okay. Let me feed. Let's get a signal in. And then I guess this will ascertain whether this thing is dead. I mean, what can go wrong on them? Oh, it does feel like it's just moving on. It does move a little bit. Ah, okay. I'll take the sum out then. Let's use that. Take the sum and plug that into CV. So turn the sum up. Nil, nothing. Oops, see it, nothing. So that feels like it's my first dead module. Ah, well. Stephen Southall saying, I recommend super glue, but also I must inform you he knows nothing about electronics. May have a cracked solder joint. Dustin Dooley is suggesting. So, yeah. Okay. All right, so that means let's take that. That's got to go. That's got to go. Let's, I'll just take that off from there. Yeah, I think I can do that. Right then. So I need a VCA because I have got to find a way to generate things. Right. Okay. I'm going to go and get something else to act as a VCA. Please enjoy the view. I'll be back in one moment. Haha! I can see a problem. Something's gonna have to go. Oh, I'm sorry, Dan. I'm gonna have to just take this out, I think, to make space. Will it get in there then? No. Oh no! Okay. So these two are gonna have to go. Right. La la la. Well, this is genuinely what a lot of this is about. I want to see about this thing is super useful. I want to get that back in if I can. Right, let's see though. How many modules need to come out? Yeah, that's not going to go in. I wonder if I could just nibble off 1 HP off each side. Nice. Right. Right, come on then. Oh, losing me LFO. Oh no, I will have one on the attacks here. I've got this. Vlad, I'm sorry. It was yeah. As modules go, I mean, it's a good one. Patch notes. But in terms of functionality, I think we can afford for that one to go. Right. It can hang around. Now, here's something with the KB37. The big power supply there does mean that only shallow modules can fit. This LFO is probably going to be too. It's probably going to be too deep. Yep. See, too deep. That's not a particularly deep module, but okay. Oh, look at all of this mess I'm getting into now. Right. You know what I was saying about knurlies earlier? You'd see just how useful these things are for just being able to take things in and out. I'm thinking of getting a whole set. This is another idea I was having. These aren't very expensive, are they, these cables? Just getting a load of these cables always plugged in, so you never have to go in and pull them off the board. That would work. That would work. That would be the way to do it, I think. Yeah, I'm going to order a bunch of these cables. I think some need to be 8-pin and some need to be, what's the other size? Is it 16-pin? 14-pin maybe. I see your head. You could probably get a big bag of knurlies on thumb screws on eBay for cheap. I'm sure the whole modular community would be delighted. But saying that, you know, yes, knurlies are expensive. What, they're about 30 quid or so for 100 of them. And that seems like really expensive. I guess they are very... Oh, I just tipped them out. They do have little tiny washers on them as well to protect your to protect the paint on your modules and stuff. You can see that just there. So they are perfect for the job. Right. I think I'm going to simplify this and make a much smaller little module, because my original plan was to do the simplest module that I could even think of. Yeah, okay. They're all coming out. They're coming out. It's Stephen Southall's wondering how long we could go for without making a single sound. Well, oops. Oh, it should be a minor blues, really. People don't want to watch a guitar. Let's get back. What am I doing? Okay, I'm going to put together a simple little setup, and then we'll get some sound going, and we can have a party together. Yes! We're going to make some nasty noise. A nasty noise party. Right. I want to make sure these are all plugged in correctly. So I'm going to do them all again. Let's have a look. So you have to, obviously, God, no, this is total beginnersville here, but the red stripe, various modules will tell you, won't they? It's either a -12, or sometimes modules will say red stripe, or if the module manufacturer is really kind, like these lovely chromatic modules, you get keyed sockets on the module itself. Yeah, I just got to make sure that I'm plugging everything in correctly inside here as well, because as I was saying, it's easy to bend pins when you don't have those key connectors, and potentially plug it in wrong as well. That keyed connector just allowing it to not be plugged in incorrectly is super important. Okay. Even that's too deep. That just makes it a bit too deep to go there. So very limited things can fit just at that end there. Okay, but that feels like everything feels good on that now. That feels like that is plugged in properly, like someone who knows what they're doing. So let's just pop that in. Now, hey, look, personalized from the legend that is Suit and Tie Guy. Have you ever seen him play organ? He's an amazing musician. Suit and Tie Guy, of course, is also John Drake, is also the man behind NobCon in America, which sadly hasn't been able to happen, as for reasons we all know. But hopefully we'll be back this year. That's a really important event. Yeah. These events, you know, they are wonderful for just galvanizing the fantastic community that exists within Modular, but also the wider synth community. It's a real privilege and an honor to feel part of that community. As it's a privilege and an honor to have your company tonight, everybody. It's beautiful. I love it so much. Just a man waffling on and having his equipment fail on him. That's how to spend a Monday night. Right. Dope for always strike me as being pretty reliable stuff, although they don't have keyed. I got to remember what... Oh, yeah, there we go. Let's pop that on. Okay. I'm just gonna get a basic... I'm going to get a basic thing up and running, and then we'll try and get some of the other modules in as well. Yeah. Something that was occurring to me the other day. When I go to Super Booth, I get unbelievably overwhelmed by how amazing it is and all of these fantastic things that are going on and things to see and experience there. But when I've been there, and we're typically rushed off our feet with the amount of incredible stuff we have to cover for Sonic State, I've been kind of fortunate because I wasn't that interested in the modular side of things. So I would be looking for other things. So all of the wonderful modular synth stuff that's on display in Super Booth, I'd largely kind of blinker myself to it because I was still so overwhelmed by all the non-modular stuff that was there. What the hell is going to happen to me next time I go there? My head is going to blow up because every single modular stand is going to be of supreme interest to me. Oh dear. So I'm hoping to get out to Super Booth this year. They're going to do this kind of more socially distanced version. I think, is it going to happen outside, or I'm not entirely sure it's all happening. So it'll, but, oh, I missed it so much last year. I was so excited about it, and for it to not happen was so sad, for obvious reasons, as has everything been that's had to be cancelled because of this damn nuisance of a pandemic. However, this pandemic has allowed a lot of us to have maybe a bit more time for this kind of stuff. For me, my whole Eurorack adventure started during the pandemic. So I have Vlad is saying distance and tents. Live Review is saying that they love my cams for streams. Looks good. Thank you for people who've been watching the show. I've kind of chronicled my little camera development as I've been going along, changing cameras and getting different stuff in. The great Scanner got in touch with me today to ask me what I was using, and also Ian Boddy, the brilliant Ian Boddy, also got. It's like people are coming to me for information about stuff that I really don't know very much about. However, for those of you who are interested, camera is a Sony A6000, but it's got a Sigma lens. What's it? A f1.4? Is it 16 millimeters? So it's like a kind of prime lens, and that made all the difference. And these two cameras are virtually the same. They're Sony. Well, one's a Sony AX43 and one's a Sony AX53, and they're handycams. The handycam nearly made extinct by the advent of the smartphone, or the cameras in a smartphone. But they're worth looking at. They zoom. They got fantastic zoom. Watch this.
1 sec.
Shut up, Siri.
Still on it. Here's zoom.
Oh,
Fat Larry's band.
Fat Larry's band. No, you'll give me a copyright strike. Ah, how annoying is Siri? Shut up, man. It's playing. Right. But look at that. Yeah, it kind of looks a bit grimy. Where is it? Okay, so you can see that's pretty cool. Your mirror. Oh, I've turned off the shake on it. That's why it's the anti-shake. So those cameras are good. They let you get really close, and they don't cut off after 30 minutes. That was the big thing that was doing my head in. So I had a pair of Canon M50s, which are great vlogging cameras, really. But not so good for live streams because they would cut off after 30 minutes. And that used to do my head in. Because, you know, you've got enough to think about, not having to worry about when your cameras are going to kind of stop working and you have to just press a button on them to make them, bring them back online again. Right. Oh, I needed, no, I can't. That's as far across there as I could go. This is a bit annoying. Okay. Let's just use this little one for a moment. I really wanted to get these ones in, but they'll just... This one... I've left it... I've done it in the wrong order now. They'll just have to wait in the wings for the moment. And look at that. We've got Dan in the audience. We've got Vlad in the audience. And I'm not sure if anyone from Takab is in the audience too, but sorry, they're just going out for a moment. Wow. So, hopefully now, when I power up, we can make this whole thing work. Right. Okay. Right, I'm just going to do things in a very kind of basic way just to keep checking that I have got sound. So I'll just do it like this. Yep, sound. Yep, sound. Okay. I think I'll just keep this simplistic way of doing things. No sound. In, out. What? Why? Why? Input, output, level. A pan in the middle. No sound. What is going on? That's irritating. Right. Don't need it because we've got another mixer. I forgot. That's coming out. What's going on? That'll give me room to get my others in. Hey, there is some benefit to this. Why is that not working? I'm just wondering if something's gone wrong. Okay, everything has been working really well. Okay, well, let's just ascertain. Right, I can see LED lights. LED lights are hellishly useful, aren't they? For just, you know, giving you some kind of confidence. Right. Okay, so we're doing this basic sound thing. So we know. Bring a fader down. Sound. Yes. So that's going to come out. It's going to come into one of my mixer channels. I'm going to make sure that the filters are off. VCA up. And this can act as a VCA in. Yay! So we got a VCA here, and that's cool because it's got multiple inputs. So this is, I was thinking about using this before, but I was trying to use lots of different makes rather than relying too much on the one, that Dreadbox. Okay, we're in business now. So let's see. Now we should have two. Haha. Lovely. Okay. I need to get those other modules in now, don't I? We need more LFOs, and I wanted to use that attenuverter in conjunction with the LFO. Right, we're going in. We're going in. Right. Is there space? Is there space? No! Oh, do you know what? I think because we're friends, I'm going to let that overlap. I think it'll... I am... Look at that. It's not... It doesn't even look like it's 1 HP out. It was me who was all excited about getting a nice sort of smaller kind of Eurorack thing to deal with, but now I'm kind of regretting certain things. It's a bit on the small side. Mind you, I also have a tendency to acquire large modules. I can see why they're not so popular. Right, let's get this plugged in. So things like attenuverters, you know, if you're not into modular, it's a word. I mean, is that a made up word, attenuverter? You know, has that word been, you know, has come from necessity? Oh God, I can't get in. I can't get in. I can't get in. I can't get in. Yeah, it's saying get the angle grinder out, but the angle grinder is, yeah, it's a biggie, but it's a goodie. Right, let's just take that. Oh, can that go over one more? I don't. Maybe the nostalgia can go over 1 HP more, and then I can get them in properly. Look at these. This is definitely. I'm gonna get in touch with Bafako after this show. I'm gonna say, look, here's like an hour-long advert for Nurlies. But seriously, you know, if you're having to get the screwdriver out for every single screw, that's how it was for me before I got Nurlies. Oh, it's a pain. It's a pain. It's an absolute pain. Right. Aha. Keyed. Lovely. Right. Let's get them in. Oh. You see, this is frustrating because so this is something I'm going to ask those of you out there who are regular kind of modular people who are taking modules in and out. I mean, this is a good example for why you should use modular grid for setting stuff up. But you do have to plan ahead quite a bit if you're going to be taking modules in and out and making sure that everything is plugged in the right order, especially if you're streaming live. Oh, dear me. See, I need to keep moving things so I can get in and change things around. That's all right, though. As I've ascertained, we're all friends here. No one's going to hate me for this. Well, some people might. Cool. Let's get these in a bit tighter. Yay. Yeah, I think life was a bit easier with the Arturia, funnily enough. I'm going to be using those, the rack brutes, for future shows. They are they're really, really cool, actually. I've got more respect for them since getting this one, funnily enough. I mean, this is great, but there are things that are better with the Arturia. Certainly represent a really good value for money, I think. And then let's just put this one in. Definitely easier with a bunch of modules out of the way. All right, and now we should be able to piece this beast back together. I've called this Analog Beast, this little video. It's a kind of wrong type of beast. Beast of burden. I've been doing a lot of studio work over the last few weeks. I've been mixing an album for the Kevin Feige's quartet I've mentioned about. That's virtually finished now. We've had some intensive mix sessions on that. That was recorded at Rockfield. It's a kind of quite avant-garde jazz album, very, very high quality. I would say it's quite an audiophile album, and working on that kind of thing is really interesting because what I mean by audiophile is that there's a very, very high attention to sonic detail, and the recordings are all at 96k 24-bit. Beautifully recorded by an amazing engineer called Tosh. and really nice to work on. Very different to work on stuff like that, where you have to be incredibly mindful to not over process, to keep it all sounding very natural and detailed, dynamic. And there is an interesting thing. It's very easy when you're mixing to load stuff up through plugins to try and colorize things. But you know, when you've got recordings done in Rockfield, you know, Rockfield is one of the great recording studios. Famously, Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody was recorded there, as was Rush's Farewell to Kings and Hemispheres albums. Those of you who know me know how much of a Rush fan I am. Lots and lots and lots of hit records done at Rockfield. Now, by saying that, though, is when you have those beautiful sounds recorded at Rockfield through the big desk and through the outboard that they've got there, you know, you don't need to be kind of looking for characters so much that you would typically reach for plugins. In fact, it's, as I say, it's more the opposite. It's more trying to be as minimal with the processing as possible. And to be honest, we're using next to no plugins at all on the whole project, which is cool. And it really breathes and really has a very strong dynamic quality. And, you know, those dynamics are quite precious, really. It's quite easy just to sort of steamroller over that sort of thing. But, you know, once this album is out, I'm sure I'll make a video about the making of it. And you'll be able to see then it is incredibly dynamic music. Right. Right. We are in now. Hopefully. I can hear some sound. That's good. All right. So, right then, let's continue along. Only took just about an hour and 10 minutes from to get to where we are. Should power up before screwing it all in. Yeah, I suppose so. But I think we're good. He says. Right. So this one now, this is our new arrival, the Eudaimonia. One of the things that's nice about this is it functions as a filter, a low pass and a high pass filter. Only a high pass. The resonance only applies to the low pass. I think I might be wrong. We can check. But it as a VCA as well. So this is cool. So we'll take our output now. Let's just take that out. Let's just bring in another thing here. So we'll bring it in the Sea Devils and we'll make sure that we have sound. We don't have sound. Can this be true? Signal input, signal output. Fully open. Have I fried a load of... Wow. Have I fried a load of modules today? Just turning on this... This is weird. I don't know what's going on. Right. All right. Let's leave the Sea Devils out for now. I love it. Right. Let's just get sound again. Okay. Let's make sure that this one is working. I'm just wondering maybe if something is up with this. Let's just get some CV control over this. I think I might I'm thinking something is up with this. Maybe it's not the modules. Maybe it's some of the sockets in this. Edna's Disco Machine saying Sea Devils, Doctor Who. Yes, I think it is a Doctor Who. I think it is a Doctor Who reference. And I think in part that's because of the connectivity between EMS and the Radiophonic Workshop, who did all the sound effects for Doctor Who. So, yeah, it's weird. I've never had modules like not work like I have tonight. So this is strange how some are working and some are not. So it's kind of, and I haven't tried, and actually the modules that aren't working are modules that I've not tried in this particular keyboard. Time to get the multimeter out. Yes, it is. I'm not going to do that now, though. Well, partly because I haven't got a multimeter. I don't know what to do. Right, I'm going to bypass the Sea Devils then. Let's just keep it simple. Let's just work with this for now then. Holy moly, I am a Here we go. What was that? That's my current state of, that's my current mood. I was really excited about making the Analog Beast synth up. Rawr! Yeah. What? Oh, I'm sad. I had an opportunity earlier to play with it and I chose not to, so it's my own fault. Okay. Right. So let us let's get this working in a very basic sense then. So, got pitch coming in. So really, I want that pitch. I want the pitch to be going to two places. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to split it into two. So I'm going to set that to the hysteria and to the angle grinder. Volt per octave in, volt per octave in. Let's check we're getting. All right. Hey, waited an hour and 20 minutes for this patch. Okay, while we're here, let's just have a listen to what we got. Let's just simple. Let's take out. See, that's when. This is when the joy starts coming in on this thing. Let's get the tuning. Okay, so our filter I'm starting to realise now how different VCAs do have quite different kind of tonal qualities. So using the VCA in the eudaimonia definitely has a little bit of drive when you push in there. So I don't know if that, see, it just gets a bit filthy in the top part of the VCA there. Bring the resonance down. Let's see if the high pass is resonant. Oh, I need to have that. It is, yeah, of course it is. So it's great having a low pass and a high pass together, isn't it? It's a bit like a kind of MS-20 or something, how you can just get that little, just get a teeny little window. Okay. So let's now, this is just gonna drone because we need to send something in to, we need to trigger. So we've got our gate coming out, and the LED lights are really handy here. We can see gate is coming out. So gate's going to go and it's going to trigger the ataxia. And then ataxia is going to send its output in to the VCA in. Yeah, let's pop that in there. So now, this is how it should work, theoretically. So I want to make sure the ataxia then is acting as a mod. So rise and fall. Let's bring the delay down. And now I should be sending a trigger to this, which then is outputting. If I pull the VCA down, I love it when it just doesn't do what you expect it to do. This stuff is where it sounds great. I love really simple sounds like this. That's nice. Okay, but not particularly interesting. So let's make it a bit more interesting. I'm hoping that this LFO is working. So I wanted to use it with this attenuator, but let's just ascertain that it's working in case something is up, which it feels like it is. Let's put this in here. Yeah, this doesn't seem to be doing it, does it? Something's up. Something's up. Whether it's, I don't know if it's a 5-volt thing, but something's up. Now, let's see if we have, let's bring that out of there. Input, well, let's bring that out of there. See, one cool thing on the Nostalgia is that the Nostalgia is a delay that has a its own LFO, and you can actually tap out the LFO as a separate thing. Let's see. Nothing. Yeah, there's something dead. There's something dead on this board, I think. Oh, I'm gutted. I need to test it more. But something is not right because no sound. No sound coming out of that. Oh, I'm so gutted. Something is up. I am gutted. And I'm pretty convinced I haven't done anything, you know, untoward. However, see, so those modules aren't working. I've just plugged them in. I made absolutely sure they were plugged in right. It's got to be this, hasn't it? This is working. This is working. But this one, and this one don't seem to be working. So the thing that is making me suspicious is that maybe some sockets are working and some aren't. What's going on? What is going on? Don't know. A bit disappointed, and I'm sorry everybody for a bit of a rubbish show tonight. I'm really disappointed about this. However, I'm enjoying your company, and Asio Head is saying challenge. Make the most impressive sound with the least amount of modules. Okay, challenge accepted. Right, so let's just. This stuff is working. This is working. This is working. I just need a bit more. I need a bit of movement. Ataxia. Mind you, Ataxia isn't doing what I was expecting it to do either. So, you know, that should be just triggering a modulation envelope with a rise and a fall stage. Let's put it into ADSR mode. So then that's got attack. Let's put the organ, the classic organ envelope, which is just A, D and R down, S all the way up. No, that shouldn't have any sustain after it, should it? What am I doing wrong? That's coming out. Sorry, that's coming out. It's going into VCA CV. Maybe this is where we need to use an attenuator. Let's just see if that makes a difference. Let's take that CV. Let's put it into there. Let's bring that out and then into there. And then see, nothing's doing what I feel it should be doing tonight. I'm gonna cry after this show. I'm gonna have a cry. I was gonna talk about the progress that I've made. Or the lack of progress. Okay, this is not good enough. Come on. Why? Why? Please don't let this put you off any of these modules that you might be considering. Shouldn't need to do that. Let's take that out for a moment. This should be enough. Do you know, I might call it a quits. I might call it a night, you know, because I'm just having a miserable time of things here. I've got some gremlins in my system and I don't know what it is, and it's doing my head in. Things aren't behaving the way they should, and modules not working. It's done my head in. This has been great, but now I'm not sure. That socket, as I've ascertained, is definitely a bit suspect, isn't it? You know? Yeah, module's not working. That we're working fine. So something is up. I'm gutted. I'm really gutted. I've been like really excited about this show all week. I've been excited about it. I just don't know why things aren't working. So I think I'm going to be getting on the internet after this show and ordering some sort of multimeter so I can test. And I don't want to think all of this stuff is fried, and I don't think it has. But it ain't working, and if it ain't working, that's no good. I'm thinking, yes, are my modules using too much power? Have I blown a fuse on the board? Possibly something like that. Possibly something like that, because it's weird. I've not had this problem at all. And in fact, the modules I was using, like in last week's show and the week before, they were quite juicy modules that need quite a lot of power. Oh, this is I'm dead sad about this. Okay. Yeah, you know, just things are not behaving. So possibly there's something with this KB37. Does it have to go back? Something's not up. Something's wrong. Something is most definitely wrong. Do you know, I've been having a fantastic productive time in the last 2 weeks. This is the opposite of the last 2 weeks have been. So I'm a little on the frustrated side, as you can tell, but I'm just confused. I am just confused, really confused. And I don't know why. So if I understood this thing more, maybe I could troubleshoot it more, but yeah, it's a no-go. I might pull this show down. There's no point in leaving it up. I'm sorry about this, guys. Sorry for wasting your time. Yeah, some you win, some you lose. This is definitely a lose tonight. Yeah. Well, it's nice to have your company, though, and I've enjoyed very much the chat. And I'll be back next week with an explanation of what went wrong this week. Hopefully, I'll get to the bottom of it. I'll ask some friends who can help me troubleshoot it. Thanks for the nice comments. Really nice. Don't know. Weird. As I say, I'm new, I'm like a year into this thing now, and it's there's so many variables. Just in the patching, there's so many variables. But if things aren't working as they should, if these modules aren't behaving as they should, if something is up with this, or is it? Or is it me all along? Oh dear. Right, well, yeah. I guess I'm going to call it a quits and just I'm a bit too done in to carry on. I got no my mojo is flat. I'm disappointed. This is a sad version of me tonight. It's not the joyful big riffing analog beast that I was super excited to explore. Oh well. Thanks again, everybody, for the lovely, just the lovely support and comments and whatnot. It's, yeah, it's great, but this ain't great tonight. Right, I'm going to go. Thanks, everyone. Peace and love, big love, and I'll see you. I'm going to be back on Wednesday with my regular show, so please don't let this put you off. That will be, I'll make doubly sure that Wednesday's show is in good form. Maybe I'll know on Wednesday a little bit about why this has been such a damp squib tonight. But anyway, thank you anyway, everyone who's joined, and oh, thanks again. Native VS is suggesting I have a look at the KB37 turned on with all the modules removed and then take it from there. Actually, that's a very good point, because there are red lights inside the KB37 which indicate, I think. In fact, let's just, as a final thing, everyone goes, yeah, we thought he wouldn't be finished. I very seldom do after I say I'm finished. But maybe if some of those lights aren't lighting up, maybe that's a clue. Let's just power up. Let's see now. Maybe that view. You can see some lights there. Oh, hold on. I think those lights actually tell me information. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's see what it is. Let's see if those lights if they're doing what they should do. I don't know if there's... No, it doesn't look like there is other lights, but I don't know if this is a clue. Actually, let's just see if you can see into there. Oh, there we go. That LED isn't lit, the minus 12 volt on this side. So it says plus 12, minus 12, and then plus 12. And that minus 12 isn't lit. Could that be a clue? Any techie peeps in the audience who are still hanging on? Is that a clue? Have we got... Is one of the rails down on this, on half of the board, the minus 12 rail? Could that be our culprit? Seems like I've lost minus 12 for the right half of the connectors. Yeah. Okay. So something's up. There we go. So those lights are little kind of lights which give you information. We've lost our minus 12 volt. Because I think there's a rail that's gone down. Mac is saying perhaps one of the modules is plugged in incorrectly and shorting the negative rail. Do you know what? I'm going to keep streaming while I'm getting bloody useful information like this. Let's unplug everything. All right. I'm going to turn this around. Rather than, oh, woe is me, I'm going to turn this into, like, this is what, like, learning and streaming is all about. Sharing experiences and helping each other out. I'm going to take away all of these. Yeah. Suddenly, I'm feeling excited again. I'm feeling excited again that there is maybe some hope. Yeah, I mean, I've been generally pretty careful. So modules on the left were all working fine. So let's just power that up now. Hey, look. Down. All 4 lights are on. Down. Yeah. All 4 lights are on. Okay. So that might have been the thing. Maybe. And this probably taps into what I was saying about the awkwardness of plugging into these unkeyed connectors. Maybe I did have something plugged in wrong. That's the obvious situation. Seems I was shorting the minus 12 volt rail on the right modules. Yeah. All right, Mac, you're on it. So, but okay, so I just don't know now. But yeah, this this ataxia wasn't doing what I thought it should do. Was it that? Okay. Switch it on. All 4 are on. Right, if I leave that one out. And then I try plugging in. I've been always turning it off when I plug things in and out. Do you have to do that? I mean, it seems common sense to. Okay. But this is what we're going to do now, though. We're going to... I can't believe I've got a second wind now, and it's all... Mac. Yes, all 4 lights still showing. Oh, my beloved Sea Devils with my own name on here. Right. Let's see. So something had shorted then. That at least explains why things weren't working, I think. Yep, all 4 are on. Right. Let's just see. I'm not going to nurly them in for a moment. Let's just see. I want to hear the Sea Devils working. And then... that's as far as the Sea Devils will go. Okay, let me just do really simple. So we're going to take our output and go into the signal input, signal out, and in. Haha! Joy. So you know what I need to do though? I need to try that VCA. Because I've criticised that VCA. Harry Turner's project is suggesting that I should try it. I think I should, really. I don't know what it was then. So I must have plugged something in wrong. Shorted the board out. Yeah. Now, okay. So that's... okay. Just whilst we are here. Look at this Sea Devils then. It's got this amazing, it's got great, it's got a really wicked tone to it. That's just so... oh, sorry neighbours. See, look at that glorious, beautiful, deep sub. The travel of this frequency, this Sea Devils, I always think there's just so many interesting little bits. What a lovely filter. Okay. Let me just see that I want to see the ataxia do what I think it should be doing. So maybe that was something indicative of that it wasn't behaving correctly. Let's see if it is behaving correctly now. I feel like a sense of relief a little bit. I think that things are not dead, which is always pleasing. Right. Okay, so right, we need eudaimonia back in. So I will. Nurley's. Look, this move alone makes Nurley's worth their weight in gold. Look at that. The double screw. The double screw. Try doing that, screwdriver heads. Yeah, take that. Okay. I've had a plan as well. I wonder if I've got a little bit of space. I should probably leave a little crack, a little 2 HP gap or a 1 HP gap so I can see those... LED lights. They're quite useful, aren't they? Now I know what they're there for. Right. Where's that LFO? So this little LFO is cute. It's cool because they're pretty inexpensive, coming from Takab. And what's pretty cool about this is you've got 3 LFOs, and the factory default is slow, medium, fast. I think it's that way round. But where are they now? Yeah, there's little jumpers on the board here where you can set them. It's calling it medium or long, so short, medium, and long. So you can put these. You can move these little jumpers around, and you can choose whether you want, what speeds, what ranges that you want them to kind of work over. Right. Let's put this in. One thing I have started to crave, which is a funny thing to crave, is a standard envelope generator, and I think I'm going to get a dope for one because there's just a real classic. Oh, have I still got power on? Yeah, that's silly, isn't it? Let's turn power off. Just like a classic dope for envelope. Fairly inexpensive. Those dope for modules, just like kind of easy to maybe overlook them in some ways because they're so ubiquitous, but they're always very feature rich. Yay. I reckon. I have a feeling that this is all going to work a bit now. It's super late in there. I might just keep going. How many of us are live? Are there a few people still here? I'm just checking on something, seeing that I'm still streaming. Yep, everything looks good. Okay, and let's pop the Sea Devils back in. I need to put the attenuverter in as well. I don't know if I can be bothered putting that VCA in now, because I've got VCA in the eudaimonia that can suffice for this. Now, one of the bad boys in this rack is this Moog. This 4-band distortion from DPW. It's so awesome, as you'll see in a moment. In fact, I'd kind of like to move that over here, just so the cable run. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, bear with me. Again, the speed of Nerlies. Come with me. Yep, out. And then, will that fit? That could fit in there, I think. Oh, it does. Thank you, Dan, for making a nice shallow module. So you can see my rampant love affair that I've been having with the KB37 has been scuppered somewhat, but maybe I can get this thing back on. So out this comes, in that goes, and then I can get the attenuverter in as well. Because actually, where this distortion, this 4-band distortion, really comes into its own is, I think, when you've got really more complex sounds going in. So we're going to have our dual oscillators going in, and then this is I hate these non-keyed sockets. I'm definitely going to see if I can change that somehow. Like, is there such a thing that just sits there and it's got a key? You just plug it in, and then I suppose it would add a bit of extra. It would reduce the depth a bit more, but just so. Or like I said, maybe I just buy a load of extra cables and then never delve under here again. I'm scared now about plugging it in wrong. I guess so far in my dabblings with this, I've not plugged anything in wrong. So a little bit of overconfidence, perhaps. Oh, I've left out my delay now. Shucks. Oh well. Oh, this definitely not the optimum thing to do on a live stream, but there we go. Now, oh, I can't see those lights. Right, let's just move Hysteria over. Can I see the lights? Maybe if I move Ataxia over. God, these Nurlies, you know. Look, there's the double screw action again. Right, that lets me see the lights now. That's cool. So I can flick it on. All 4 lights. I'm pretty sure if I see the 4 lights, then all is well and all those modules will behave. Mac is talking about his Hydrasynth, you know. I'm just trying to get a sponsorship from Bafako. Yeah, I am. I'm going to tell him about this. But yeah, I love Nurlies. I love them. And they are worth every single penny. So I kind of hope for their sake no one makes a cheap knockoff for them, because they're a cool company. Very cool company, Bafako. And actually, they strive to make things affordable. So it's not as though they are the kind of companies out to make a quick buck. I think that they are, you know, they're good. They're a very good, very cool company. As are all of the companies that I've encountered, really. It's definitely something in the modular world of cool, like-minded people. It's you know, sharing a love of this kind of stuff. And I think that's great, you know. You feel it, I think, most profoundly at Super Booth. I'm sure many of you in the audience have been to Super Booth, but if you haven't been and it's something that you'd consider, I know it's a long way for my American friends and Australian friends, and, you know, actually we've got some Japanese fans of the show. You know, it's a long way to get to Germany, but I would say that it is the preeminent music technology show. Synthesizer, not just synthesizers, it's broader than that. Preeminent sort of, yeah, cutting edge music technology, I suppose, show in the world. And the sense of community, the vibe, they managed to get this balance just right, like a balance between, you know, like a music festival, like in a, you know, rather than it just being a trade show. It really feels like it's oh, have I done this wrong? Look, I've done it wrong again. It's all right. It's only one has to go. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. This should give us still a little window in so we can see those lights. Get in. There we go. Right. My final bit of nurlying tonight. And then maybe I can just get away with just putting in just a few, and we'll see if they're enough to hold it in place. And then we can see if we can get this monster beast that I was going to get up and running. Yeah, but the vibe at Super Booth is just amazing. There's a real sense of community, a real sense of excitement, and just something that is quite profound, quite wonderful, and highly recommended, and really inclusive and welcoming as well, you know. So if you are fancying making the trek out there once, you know, COVID allows, you know, I'd highly recommend it. I mean, Berlin is a beautiful, amazing, dynamic, exciting city that's worth visiting anyway, irrespective of anything else going on there. But when you couple it with Super Booth and all the little parties and events that happen, top left and top, someone's saying just it's only secure modules with the top left and top right screws. Yeah, I know, I probably should. Sorry. I mean, everybody's watched me screw in and out modules so much tonight. Right. However, when I power this now, I've got a little window so I can see those LED lights. And then when I power this up, it'll be nice to see. Oh, look. I've only got 2 more. I'm going to do it. Right. Nearly's. I nearly finished the stream, but the Nearly's kept it going. Right. Power on. All 4 LED lights are showing. Yes. Now. What's it now? Is that nearly 2 hours in? That's ridiculous. I should populate all my headers with ribbons within reason. HP space allowed to make expansion easier. Oh, Synth Anatomy is also mentioning about Ableton Loop. That also happens in Berlin, sometimes at the same time. But yeah, that. I've not actually been to that. I nearly did. Well, I was going to this last year, I think, but yeah. Okay. Right. Have we got things? Let's see. Okay. I think my goal tonight is have every module in this particular setup work. Don't forget about the planned Super Grail as well now. Is that the guitar one? Is that what is Super Grail? I'm having a look. Super Grail guitar show. Oh yeah, look. That's happening at the same location, I believe now. Yeah. That's cool. So, I mean, that's me. Someone who loves guitars and synths. Yeah. I think they're running next to each other, aren't they? Are they? Are they like sort of on? So Super Grail is going from April the 30th to May the 2nd, and then is Super Booth then happening after that? I think. Yeah. Okay. Right. Oh God, an extra week in Berlin. I'm going to do it if I can. If I can get there, if COVID allows me to get to Berlin, I'm going to go. But I don't know it'll be the same. I don't think all the parties and things will be happening. Okay. Right. I want to get this basic setup working 2 hours later. God, an extra week in Super Booth. I'd be ruined financially and my health. Okay. Right. So I've got my pitch. Let's just right. Pitch is being split and being sent to our 2 sound generating. Both outputs are coming out and are going into the mixer. Yep. both outputs coming out. So pink for angle grinder and red for hysteria. And these little pots here, these are our little mixer pots. So we'll leave them at maybe 3 o'clock. Filter are both fully open. VCA. Now, I want to see that VCA doing what I think it should do, which is that little LED light should... I'm pretty sure of this is how it should be. So if it's getting a trigger, yeah, this is doing it now. Right. Okay. So VCA CV down. VCA down. So. What? Shut up, Siri. I hate Siri. Hey, nice one. GNU Ninja. Thank you for joining me. You're going to be in work in 5 hours. Oh, bless you. That's no fun. Okay, so we're going to come out and we're going to go. Let's just keep this simple and we'll just build it up as we go along, making sure that everything is working as it should as we go along. That's quiet. VCA is down. That's why. Ooh, sorry. Now, come on, Ataxia. I shouldn't be so stupid. Let's see. Put that into ADSR mode. It's working. It's working. It's working. So clearly... Oh, I can hear a little bit of offset going on though. Wow. Ha. So that must... Ataxia must have been affected by the way it was plugged in before. Okay, now I want to see if I've got my LFO working now. So that can come out and then let's have it CV in. Yes, I can see. Can you see on that one? Maybe I'll try this one. Does that show on here? Not quite, but that's showing its little LED. Ah. Joy upon joy. So our little attenuverter now can control the strength of that LFO. Yay! Oh, it feels good. I was so sad earlier. I'm trying to work out how to get that offset though. I need offset. I've got an offset going on here, hence being able to hear that bleeding through. Attenuverter. These at 12 o'clock essentially do, you know, that's like saying nothing, and then we can invert to the left and normal to the right. Okay. Oh, why? I don't know why I'm getting that little bleed through though. Is that coming from? I think is it coming from both of them? It is. Not quite sure. Not quite sure. Ooh. Got a bit of too much signal there. Look at this nasty sound. Okay. Ha. We like nasty. Okay, so we're going to come out of here now. I'm going to go in. So out of the mixer, I'm going to go into the Sea Devils filter. Oh no, signal input. Out of here, we're going to go into the distortion. And then out of the distortion. No. Let's go into the mixer first. Out of the mixer, then into the distortion. Yes! And then, will that reach? Yeah. Out. And then in. Okay. Yeah. Look, everything's working now. This is how it should have all been all along. Okay. I'm kind of excited now. Let's put the distortion in. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go into the distortion, out of the distortion, and into this, out of the distortion and into the delay. A bit more classic, a little bit more of a classic. Levels. Why have I lost my signal level? Why? All right. Let's get like a beast of a sound on the go in a moment. Just getting this. Let's see if I've got my arpeggiator. Okay. Let's just get a nice arpeggiator on the go. Okay. It's going to be a bit horrible for a moment until I get my... My signal level is suspicious. Ooh. You see what happened? What did I do? Why did the sound just go away? Oh, you see, like it's so easy to lose the sound, isn't it? I mean, it's so easy. Where did that sound go? In fact, I wasn't really changing anything. Where did the sound go? Okay. The sound has gone. Where did it go? I was playing around with this level here. See, look at that. Gone. Send that down a little bit. Let's see. Let's turn my arpeggiator off. It's not from there. Oh, everything was going so well then, wasn't it? It just sort of went off. Why did it go off? Oh, well, hang on. No, I can see all 4 LED lights are all kind of lit. Can't quite see one of them. Yes, there, all 4 lights there. So that's all right. Where did my sound go? See, so it's kind of puzzling when things like that happen, because it's just sort of like, hang on, what did I press? Let's just see. I'll take this over here. Okay. So sound. Oh. It's back again now. I don't know what happened then. Oh, it'd have probably been a good idea to check that it was still getting sound. Okay, not the nicest sound. Let's see if we can do something nicer with it. Let's get a level. So I want to get the LFO on the Sea Devils. Okay. This is where things start getting gnarlier. I'm not quite sure when my signal levels drop though. So I fear something. Maybe it's a dodgy cable somewhere. Right. LFO out. Let's put that into a mount input. Classic. Classic. Classic kind of let's get an LFO effect in. Let's get an LFO effect in our frequency input as well. Whoa. That distortion, having 4 bands, you can really kind of smooth it up a little bit. Right, not the nicest sound. Bit of a nightmare sound, actually. Right. Take distortion out for a moment. Okay. So what we're hearing at the moment we're hearing sort of the LFOs affecting the Sea Devils with a, it says response here, but you can consider that to be resonance. Let's get it doing something weird. So I'm going to borrow Nostalgia's LFO. Let's try it. That's cool. I'm not playing any notes. Why we're hearing that is the LFO of Nostalgia is driving the semitones of the Hysteria. This is kind of classic modular noise now, isn't it? This is the sort of thing I start enjoying it when I start feeling like I'm losing a bit of the control of it. And a few longer ones. Right. Let's try something from here. This would be cool. So I'm taking the square waves out of the LFO and I'm putting them into parts of the angle grinder. On the hysteria, the waveform, I think you might just be able to notice here, you've got different waveforms and some have got a dot on them and some haven't. The ones with the dot on them means that those are fixed waveforms, and if they haven't got a dot on them, it means then the waveform can be, well, in the case of a square wave, we can change the pulse width on it, but it also lets you change like a complex saw and some sort of hybrid between like a sawtooth and a sine wave. So let's do a little bit of that as well. Thanks, Inverted Popes. Thank you, and thanks for sticking around through my less than graceful adventures. Right. More. So let's do that then. So I'm going to take the CV input. So a bit of pulse width modulation. Come out the square wave. Let's get as many things, as much modulation going on as possible. I want it so like everything that you adjust makes some kind of noise. I know what to do. Out of here, this will change the waveform. So I'm going to set my mixer. Just take my signals out for a moment and let's just bring our signals in. So the pink, this is what the angle grinder is currently doing. Bring that down a little bit. God, we've got a lot of noise. I haven't even got the distortion on here. That's what the angle grinder's doing. Now, let's take that out. This is currently what the hysteria is doing. Quantize button on the hysteria sort of quantizes any CV input that's going to affect the semitone to kind of keep it to semitones. Oh, that's a horrible sound. There's too much speed going on. Haha. Okay. Right. It's almost like too many things now. Oh, what am I doing? Let's bring the angle grinder back in. So it's kind of getting somewhere a bit now. I think we got enough distortion for the moment. So it's getting really interactive. This now is the joy of Eurorack. This is the joy where it becomes a real voyage of... It's not particularly musical at the moment, but... Put a cave. That's me cheating. I've got my Eventide H9 just off screen, which makes everything sound great. Okay. So oh. So we're into this kind of zone now. This is what a lot of people criticise Modular for getting, like, for getting a bit bleepy bloopy. I've typically avoided going this way with. I'm trying to find more musical examples, but there is quite a lot to be said for this kind of stuff, though. It's quite nice doing stuff that's in so kind of random time. Let the arpeggiator do a bit more of the work now. I don't know what the purpose of this is. I'm gonna see what happens if I put this sound in now. It's gonna be weird. Okay, don't know how much fun this is to listen to, sorry. I was trying to explain things, but I've completely lost the plot. Let's bring those rates down. Whoa. Sorry about this. In terms of anyone who's trying to gain some musical insight or enjoyment from any of this. Oh yeah. See this kind of stuff now in the low murky zone. Okay, I'm losing the plot. So, I guess trying to wrestle with all these controls, there's such a lot of interactivity now between the different modules. I was trying to see if I can find any music in here. I don't know if I can. Kind of tame the beast. Let's try and see if I can get any sort of musical sound out of it now. Irrational Recreation say this like watching a man wrestling an octopus. Okay. I'm loving this. This attenuverter. That's kind of cool. Stanton is saying it needs a mutable instruments yarns with an internal LFO to make the mod wheel and the pitch wheel voltage. Now, I'm very glad you mentioned that. I have neglected my beloved kind of getting it into some sort of musical value here. Pitch wheel, pitch bend. Let's put it in a mod actually. Yeah, wheel. That's controlling the high pass part of the eudaimonia. That's with the eventide in. Doing something kind of cool. Maybe cheated a bit too much with this. Let's try some phaser. That's a bit crazy. Let's back the depth off a bit. I like this. I was trying to find some musical gnarliness is always fairly close at hand. There's so many things that are affecting the sound now. That there's a million billion possibilities with so much. I mean, like the difference between so that knob alone is having fairly dramatic consequence. That's quite nice, isn't it? Oh, let's get some more. Let's get a nice reverb on this. So, you know, having so it's lurking. Remember, that LFO. If I just increase it just a little bit. Ooh, I just spotted as well. There's a socket that's not doing anything. Let's have it control. So this LFO is controlling the speed of the delay now. So that'll give it that knob even more. Oh, I've kind of lost it now. Okay. So should I leave this stream up? It's turned into something at the end. I might just put a big announcement to jump 2 hours in. Add my synthetic saying leave it and add my MIDI bass control next time. I've got some great content coming out with my MIDI bass soon. messed it up a bit too much now. I've lost. Okay, this is. I'm gonna try and come out of this one now. It's just weird. There's all sorts of weird little things lurking. I love this when I just don't really know why some of the things are doing what they're doing. It's become too many connections to keep on top of it all. You just have to see what you can find within it. Oh, the sea devils are just beautiful though. Okay, I think given the time, I've been streaming for hours now. Well, thank you for those who've hung in there through thick and thin. Nice to see you, Wagyu. You didn't really miss much earlier. Just missed me having a meltdown. Okay. My plan was to make more traditional monosynth sounds. That's what I was going to do, big fat bass sounds and stuff, but I haven't really gone that way. Well, I've learnt something. I've learnt things tonight. You know, I've learnt things tonight. I hope some of it's been useful. Definitely keyed sockets for the board on here would certainly have helped and prevented some of that those issues from earlier. Right, I think I'm going to finish because I've been streaming for such a long time and such a lot of it was frustrating. Thank you once again for joining me. I'll be back on Wednesday. I've got an interesting thing planned on Wednesday, so if I get some time between now and Wednesday to actually make sure it's all troubleshooted, I really do. The audience deserve that. Oh, right. Let's come out of this. Let's come out of this and pull this fader down, and just leaves me time to wish you all a very good night, or wherever you are in the world, a very good morning. And yeah, I'll see you maybe Wednesday. I'll be back on Monday next week with something for this show that I've worked out and is going to be good from the get-go. Yeah, thanks a lot. Bye for now.